Keisha Carter's alarm screamed at 5 a.m., just like it did every morning. She dragged herself out of bed, every muscle aching from yesterday's double shift. In the next room, her 6-year-old son Marcus was still sleeping, his small face peaceful in a way that made her heart hurt. She had exactly 45 minutes to get him ready for school, drop him at her neighbor's, and catch the bus to her first job cleaning offices downtown. Then she'd rush to her second job waitressing at a diner until midnight. 2 jobs. Barely enough to cover rent, food, and Marcus's asthma medication. No room for extras like new shoes or birthday parties. "Mama's doing her best, baby," she whispered, kissing Marcus's forehead. She'd escaped an abusive relationship 3 years ago, moved to Seoul for a fresh start. Her ex had connections everywhere in the States. Korea felt safer, anonymous. But safe didn't mean easy. By 6:30 a.m., she was running late, Marcus's backpack in one hand, his inhaler in the other, racing down the apartment stairs. She burst through the building's front door and collided directly into someone. Hard, her bag flew. Marcus's inhaler skittered across the pavement. "I'm so sorry." Keisha dropped to her knees, scrambling for the inhaler. When she looked up, her apology died in her throat. The man she'd hit was terrifying. Tall, impeccably dressed in all black, with eyes that could freeze fire. And behind him stood 4 men who looked like they could kill with a glance. "I'm so sorry," Keisha repeated, grabbing the inhaler and standing quickly. "I wasn't looking where I was going." The man studied her with an intensity that made her skin prickle. He didn't speak, just stared, like he was deciding something important. "Are you all right?" one of his men asked in accented English, stepping forward. "I'm fine, really. We're just late." Keisha grabbed Marcus's hand. Her son stared at the intimidating stranger with wide eyes. "Cool car," Marcus said, pointing at the black Mercedes parked at the curb. The corner of the man's mouth twitched, almost a smile. "Onwoo," he said to one of his men. "Give the boy a ride to school." "No, that's not necessary," Keisha started. "You're late. I'm offering assistance. It's faster than your bus." His voice was
The
deep,
deal is off. They
controlled,
pulled
with
out.
perfect
What?
English
Why?
that
They got a
somehow
better
made him
offer.
more
We need a new
intimidating.
plan.
This is
"I don't even know
unbelievable.
you." Kang Junho. He said it like everyone should recognize the name. Keisha didn't. But the way his men stood, the way other pedestrians suddenly found somewhere else to be, she understood power when she saw it. "Thank you, but we're fine. Come on, Marcus." She hurried away, feeling his eyes on her back the entire time. Later that day, while serving lunch at the diner, her coworker leaned in. "That man you described, Kang Junho? Girl, you bumped into the most dangerous man in Seoul. He runs half the city's underground." Keisha's blood went cold. "What? Mafia boss. Real one. People don't say no to him. Ever." "Well, I
I've
just
missed
did."
this.
For
Me
3
too.
days,
Don't
Keisha
let
couldn't
go.
stop thinking about
Never.
the
I'll
encounter.
always protect
She'd
you.
researched Kang Junho online, carefully, using incognito mode, paranoid he'd somehow know. The articles were vague but terrifying. Business mogul with rumored underworld connections. Powerful family with political ties. Not someone to cross. She'd literally run into a mafia boss and turned down his help. "Mama, there's a man outside," Marcus said on Thursday evening, pointing out their apartment window. Keisha's heart stopped. A black car was parked across the street, the same Mercedes from before. "Stay away from the window." She grabbed her phone, ready to call. Who? The police? What would she even say? Before she could decide, her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Against her better judgment, she answered. "Hello? Miss Carter, this is Kang Junho. I apologize for alarming you, but I wanted to ensure you arrived home safely." "How did you get my number?" "I have resources. That's not important. What's important is that I noticed you work very late hours in an unsafe neighborhood. I can take care of myself. I'm sure you can, but you shouldn't have to. Not alone." There was something in his voice. Not threat. Something else. "Why do you care?" Keisha asked bluntly. "Because you remind me of someone I failed to protect, and I don't make the same mistake twice." He hung up before she could respond. Keisha stood there, phone in hand, completely unsure what had just happened. Was she being threatened? Protected? Was there even a difference in his world? The crisis came on Friday. Keisha's neighbor, Mrs. Kim, called in a panic. Marcus had an asthma attack at school. The ambulance took him to Seoul Medical Center. I'm on my way. Keisha's world stopped. She was across the city. It would take an hour to get there by bus, maybe more in traffic. She ran outside, frantically trying to hail a taxi. None stopped. Tears streamed down her face. Please, please, my son. Miss Carter. The voice came from behind her. She spun. Kang Junho stood beside his Mercedes, door already open. Get in. My driver knows the fastest route. She should have hesitated, should have questioned, but Marcus was struggling to breathe. Thank you, she gasped, jumping in. Junho slid in beside her. Which hospital? Seoul Medical Center. He spoke rapid Korean to his driver. The car moved like a missile through traffic. Your son has asthma? Yes, bad. I usually keep his inhaler with him, but he forgot it this morning and her voice broke. He'll be fine. We'll get there in time. His certainty was oddly comforting. They arrived in 15 minutes. Impossible time. Keisha ran through the emergency entrance, Junho keeping pace. I'm looking for Marcus Carter, she told the nurse breathlessly. Room 3. He's stable. The inhaler treatment worked. Keisha nearly collapsed with relief. Junho's hand steadied her elbow. Thank you, she whispered, for everything. You don't need to thank me. Something in his expression softened. May I see him? I'd like to ensure he's all right. Against all logic, Keisha nodded. Watching Kang Junho, feared Mafia boss, interact with her son was surreal. Marcus was sitting up in the hospital bed, breathing easily now, but tired. You're the cool car man, Marcus said. I am. How are you feeling? Better. Mama says I got to remember my inhaler. Your mother is right. That's very important medicine. Marcus nodded seriously. Are you Mama's friend? Junho glanced at Keisha. I'm trying to be. After Marcus fell asleep, Keisha and Junho stood in the hallway. I need to pay you back, Keisha said, for the ride, for your time. You owe me nothing. I don't take charity. It's not charity. It's... He paused, choosing words carefully. It's me making amends for past failures by helping someone who needs it. I don't understand you. Most people don't. He pulled out a business card. My personal number. If you or your son need anything at all, call me. Why would you do this for a stranger? Because you're strong, surviving alone in a foreign country, working 2 jobs, raising a child. That takes remarkable strength, and strength like that deserves protection, not struggle. Keisha stared at the card. I can't get involved with someone like you. Your world is dangerous. My world is dangerous, but so is yours. At least in mine, I can offer security. At what cost? No cost, no strings. Just let me help, please. The please did it. This powerful, terrifying man was asking, not demanding. 1 coffee, Keisha heard herself say. To say thank you, that's it. A genuine smile crossed his face. 1 coffee. Tomorrow? The restaurant was nothing like Keisha expected. Instead of a public cafe, Junho had reserved a private dining room in one of Seoul's most exclusive establishments. This is too much, Keisha said, feeling completely out of place in her clean but worn dress. This is private, where we can talk without interruption. The meal was incredible, but Keisha barely tasted it. She was too aware of the man across from her. Tell me about yourself, Junho said. What brought you to Korea? Fresh start, bad relationship, needed to disappear. He hurt you? The question was casual, but something dangerous flickered in Junho's eyes. He tried. I left before it got worse. Came here because he'd never think to look in Asia. And you've been alone since? Me and Marcus. We're enough. You're lying. Not about love. I believe you love your son more than anything, but about being enough. You work yourself to exhaustion. You can barely afford medication. You're surviving, not living. The truth stung. What's your alternative? Let a mafia boss take care of me? That's not better. That's just a different kind of danger. What if it wasn't? What if I could give you safety? Real safety. No more looking over your shoulder. No more double shifts. Just peace. In exchange for what? Your company. Your time. The chance to get to know you better. Keisha laughed bitterly. Why? Why me? You could have anyone. Because you're real. Everyone in my world wants something. Power, money, connection. You just want to protect your son and live quietly. That's refreshing. And terrifying for you, probably. Someone who doesn't want anything. Terrifying, he agreed, but also irresistible. The relationship, if you could call it that, moved slowly. Over the next 3 weeks, Junho would appear at unexpected moments. Outside the diner as Keisha's shift ended. At Marcus's school during pickup. Always offering help. Never demanding anything. Your boss is getting suspicious, his second-in-command, Min-suk, said one evening. Suspicious of what? Of you. Specifically, of the woman you've been seeing. They were in Junho's office, a sleek space that served as headquarters for his legitimate businesses and cover for everything else. She's not relevant to business. She's relevant to you. That makes her relevant to business. Minsuk pulled up photos on his tablet. The men are asking questions. Some are concerned. Some are curious. Concerned about what? About an outsider getting close to you, about potential weakness, about whether your judgment is compromised. Junho's expression went cold. My judgment is never compromised. But your behavior is unusual. You've never been involved with anyone seriously. Now you're picking up a woman from work, having dinner with her and her child. People notice, Junho. Let them notice. Keisha is under my protection. That's all they need to know. Protection implies she's valuable. What makes her valuable? Junho considered the question. She reminds me that there's more to life than power, that kindness still exists, that not everyone wants something from me. That's dangerous thinking for someone in your position. I know, but I can't seem to stop. What Junho didn't know, someone was already taking photos, documenting every interaction, preparing to use this information against him. The photos hit social media on a Tuesday. Keisha was tagged in 3 posts before she even woke up. Kang Junho's new girlfriend? Who is this woman? Gold digger, landing a mafia king. Her phone exploded. Unknown numbers, threatening messages, racist comments about a black woman with a Korean man, about her being a foreigner, about her using him for money. Mama, why are people saying mean things about you online? Marcus asked, seeing her phone. Keisha's hands shook. It's nothing, baby, just misunderstandings. But it wasn't nothing. By noon, she'd been fired from the diner. We can't have this kind of attention, her boss said apologetically. It's bad for business. Her cleaning job called next. We're letting you go. Your contract is complicated now. Within 24 hours, Keisha had lost both income sources. Her landlord called. I'm getting pressure to evict you. I'm sorry. From who? I don't know. Just pressure. Keisha sat in her empty apartment, Marcus at school, and finally let herself break down. Everything she'd built destroyed because she'd been kind to the wrong man. Her phone rang. Junho. I heard what's happening, he said without preamble. I'm handling it. Handling it? My life is falling apart. It's falling apart because I didn't anticipate this. That's my failure, but I will fix it. You can't fix this. This is exactly why I should have stayed away from you. Keisha, please, let me help. Help? Your help destroyed everything. She hung up. For the first time in 3 years, she felt truly hopeless and terrified. That night, Keisha made a decision. She'd take Marcus and leave. Not back to America. Her ex was still there, but somewhere. Anywhere that wasn't Seoul. She started packing their few belongings when her door buzzed. Junho stood there with Min Sok and 2 other men. We need to talk. I don't want to talk. I want you to leave us alone. Someone leaked those photos deliberately, to hurt you, to hurt me through you. Mission accomplished. This isn't a joke, Keisha. Whoever did this wants you vulnerable, unprotected. That makes you a target. I was fine before I met you. Were you? Working yourself to death? One medical emergency from homelessness? That's not fine. That's surviving by a thread. Junho stepped closer. I'm offering you security, real security. As what? Your kept woman? Your pretty distraction? As my partner, someone I care about, someone I want in my life permanently. The declaration hung in the air. You barely know me. I know you're strong, brave, a good mother, protective of your son, kind despite everything life's thrown at you. That's enough. It's not. You're a criminal, a dangerous man. I can't raise Marcus around violence. Then I'll keep the violence away from you, both of you, complete separation between my business and your life. That's impossible. Watch me. He pulled out an envelope. Inside is a contract, legal, clear. I'll provide housing, security, income. You maintain complete independence, can leave anytime, no obligations beyond letting me be in your life. Why would you do this? Because I haven't cared about anyone in 15 years, and I care about you. Keisha didn't accept immediately, but she did let Junho hire security. 2 subtle guards who kept distance but watched the apartment 24/7. Within days, the harassment stopped. The threatening messages ceased. Her landlord suddenly found no reason to evict. He's protecting you, Mrs. Kim said admiringly. That's what powerful men do for women they love. He doesn't love me. He barely knows me. He assigned 4 bodyguards, for you and Marcus. That's love in his language. Keisha thought about that, about how Junho showed care through action rather than words, how he'd learned Marcus's schedule and ensured someone was always nearby, how he'd paid her rent for 6 months without asking permission. He's controlling, Keisha said to herself. But was he? He never told her where to go or what to do, just made sure she was safe doing it. One evening, she came home to find Junho sitting in the building's lobby. "Are you waiting for me?" "I am. I wanted to see you, but I didn't want to presume I could come upstairs." The consideration touched her. "You can come up, for a little while." Marcus was thrilled to see him. They played with toy cars while Keisha made dinner, simple food that Junho ate like it was a 5-star meal. "Thank you," he said quietly after Marcus went to bed, "for letting me be here. You've done a lot for us. It's just dinner." "It's not just dinner. It's normal. Real. I haven't had this in—" He trailed off. 15 years? Keisha guessed, remembering his earlier comment. "Yes. What happened 15 years ago? I lost someone, and I swore I'd never be vulnerable again, until you." The danger Keisha didn't see was already closing in. Her ex-boyfriend, Derek, had finally tracked her down. He'd been searching for 3 years, using every connection he had, and when the photos of her with Junho went viral, Derek saw them. "Seoul," he said to his associate. "She's in Seoul, with some Korean businessman." "That's not just any businessman," his associate warned, showing him research. "That's Kang Junho, serious player, connected, dangerous. I don't care who he is. Keisha is mine. She took my son. She'll pay for that." "Your son?" "I'm on the birth certificate. That makes him legally mine too." It was a lie. Derek wasn't Marcus's biological father, just the abusive boyfriend Keisha had escaped from. But he'd manipulated her into putting his name on documents when she was scared and alone. "I'm going to Seoul," Derek announced, "and I'm bringing both of them back." Meanwhile, in Seoul, Keisha noticed strange cars parked outside her building, different ones than Junho's security. "Have you seen those?" she asked Minsuk during one of his check-ins. He went alert immediately. "Describe them." She did. He made a call. Within minutes, Junho arrived. "Pack a bag. You and Marcus. Now." "What's happening?" "Someone's watching you. Not my people. Threat assessment is high." "How high?" "High enough that you're not staying here tonight." He didn't wait for arguments, just helped her pack while Minsuk carried a sleepy Marcus. They were in Junho's car within 8 minutes. "Where are we going?" "My private residence. Secure. Monitored. No one gets in without clearance." "This is insane. This is necessary. Keisha, I need you to trust me. Someone dangerous is interested in you. Until I know who and why, you're not safe here." Junho's residence was a fortress disguised as a luxury home. High walls, security gates, cameras everywhere. "This is where you live." Keisha looked around at the massive space. "It's one of 3 properties. This is the most secure." He showed them to a guest suite that was larger than her entire apartment. Marcus immediately loved it. There was a toy room attached, filled with things that looked recently purchased. "You bought him toys?" "I wanted him to be comfortable." That night, after Marcus fell asleep, Keisha found Junho on the balcony. "I got information on your watcher," he said without preamble. "His name is Derek Matthews, American, arrived in Seoul 3 days ago." Keisha's blood turned to ice. "How do you know that name?" "Because I do deep background on anyone who threatens you. He's your ex, the one you ran from." "He found me. He saw the photos online, tracked you here." Oh God, he'll try to take Marcus. He's not the father, but he's on some of the documents and he'll use that." "Keisha, breathe. He's not taking Marcus. Or you. I've already filed legal protections, Korean custody laws, restraining orders. He can't get near either of you." "You don't know Derek. He doesn't care about laws. But he should care about me, because I've made it very clear what happens to people who threaten what's mine." The possessive declaration should have scared her. Instead, it made her feel safer than she had in years. Derek made his move 3 days later. He showed up at Marcus's school, trying to check him out early. "I'm his father. There's been a family emergency." The school secretary, well trained by Junho's team, immediately triggered the alert protocol. Security locked down. Junho received notification instantly. "He's at the school," Minsuk reported. Derek Matthews, trying to access the child. Have our team secure Marcus. I'll handle Matthews personally. Within 15 minutes, Derek found himself surrounded, not by police, by Junho's men. You must be Derek Matthews. Junho appeared, calm and terrifying. I am, and you must be the guy screwing my girlfriend. She's not your girlfriend. She's my partner, and Marcus is not your son. I'm on the documents. Documents can be changed, especially when the mother was coerced into signing them. I have lawyers already working on it. Derek's facade cracked. You can't keep them from me. I can and will. You abused Keisha, threatened her, forced her to flee her own country. That ends now. Big talk from a guy who doesn't even know her. I loved her for years. You hurt her. Love doesn't do that. Love protects, provides, respects. Junho stepped closer. You have two options. 1. Leave Seoul immediately and never contact Keisha or Marcus again. 2. I make sure you never can. The threat was clear. Derek, despite his bravado, recognized real danger. This isn't over. Yes, it is, because if I see you in Seoul again, you won't leave alive. Understand? Derek fled. Junho immediately went to the school, where Keisha was holding Marcus tightly, both of them shaken. He's gone. He won't bother you again. You can't promise that. I can, and I do. That night, Keisha finally broke down completely. Marcus was asleep in the secure room. She sat in Junho's living room, shaking. I can't do this. Can't live in constant fear. Can't drag Marcus through this. Then don't. Let me handle the fear. You just live. That's not how it works. You're not my knight in shining armor. This is real life. You're right. I'm not a knight. I'm something much more dangerous. And that's exactly why you and Marcus are safe. He knelt in front of her. I know my world is violent. I know it's terrifying. But I can separate you from that. Create a life where you're protected without being consumed by the darkness. How? By being selective. By keeping business away from home. By ensuring anyone who works for me understands that hurting you means forfeiting their life. It's not perfect, but it's more security than you've ever had. Keisha looked at this powerful, dangerous man, offering her everything she'd ever wanted. Safety, stability, protection. What if I can't love you back? What if this is just gratitude? Then it's gratitude. I'll take what you can give. That's not fair to you. Let me decide what's fair for me. He took her hands. I'm not asking for love. I'm asking for a chance to prove I can be what you need, what Marcus needs. And if it doesn't work, then you leave, with enough money to start over anywhere, full custody of Marcus, legal protection, everything documented and secured. You'd really let me go? If staying makes you miserable? Yes, but I don't think it will. He was right, and that terrified her more than anything else. The turning point came 2 weeks later. Marcus had a nightmare about Derek, about being taken away. Junho heard the crying and appeared at the boy's door. May I? He asked Keisha. She nodded. Junho sat on Marcus's bed. Hey, buddy, bad dream? The mean man came and took me away from Mama. That's not going to happen. You know why? Why? Because I won't let it, and I'm really, really good at protecting people I care about. You care about me? Very much, and your Mama. You're both really important to me. Marcus considered this. Are you going to be my dad? The question hung in the air. Junho glanced at Keisha, who was frozen in the doorway. Would you like that? Junho asked carefully. Yeah, you're nice, and you have cool cars, and Mama smiles more when you're here. Then yeah, I'd like to be your dad, if your Mama says it's okay. Later, after Marcus fell back asleep, Keisha and Junho talked. You don't have to play father. I'm not playing. I meant what I said. If you'll let me, I want to be in his life. Permanently. You don't know what you're signing up for. Kids are hard, exhausting, expensive. I know, and I don't care. I want this. Want you both. Keisha felt tears streaming down her face. I'm falling in love with you, and that terrifies me. Why? Because losing you would destroy me, and your world is dangerous. People die around you. Not the people I protect. Never them. He pulled her close. I love you too, Keisha. Have for weeks. I was just waiting for you to feel safe enough to hear it. But love didn't make them invincible. The attack came from inside, someone Junho had trusted. His head of logistics, Park, had been feeding information to a rival organization, including Keisha's location. Why would Park betray you? Min Seok asked during the emergency meeting. Money? Blackmail? Find out, and find him. Now. They discovered Park had sold information about Junho's weakness. his relationship with Keisha. The rival organization planned to kidnap her, use her as leverage. When? Junho's voice was ice. Tomorrow, during Marcus's school pickup. Then we'll be ready. But Junho made a harder decision. He called Keisha into his office. I need to tell you something, and you're not gonna like it. What? My organization has a leak. Someone sold information about you and Marcus. There's going to be an attempt to take you tomorrow. Then we stop them. We will. But Keisha, this is what I meant about my world being dangerous. This is the reality. People will always try to use you against me. So what do you want me to do? Leave? Run again? No. I want you to make an informed choice. Stay with me, and you'll have security but also risk. Leave, and you'll be safe but alone. Keisha thought about the past months, about feeling protected for the first time, about Marcus calling Junho dad, about loving someone who loved her back. I'm staying, but I'm not hiding anymore. Whatever happens tomorrow, I'm part of the solution. Absolutely not. You don't get to decide this alone. They're targeting me. I deserve to be involved. Junho looked at her, really looked, and saw the strength that had drawn him to her in the first place. All right, together then. But you follow my lead. Agreed? Agreed. The plan was simple. Let them try to take Keisha, but be ready. Junho's team set up a perimeter around the school. Undercover agents, surveillance. Keisha wore a tracking device. If anything goes wrong, you run. Straight to the school. Security is there. And Marcus? Already secured. He's with Minsok in a safe location. They won't touch him. The attempt came exactly as predicted. Two men approached Keisha as she walked from her car. Mrs. Kang, we need you to come with us. I don't think so. It wasn't a request. One grabbed her arm. Junho's team moved instantly. 12 men materialized from nowhere, surrounding the attackers. Let her go, Junho said, appearing behind them. Now. I know exactly what you were doing. Take them. His men subdued the attackers within seconds. But Junho wasn't done. He called the rival boss directly. Your men just tried to take my partner. That was a mistake. Kang, we were just sending a message. Then let me send one back. Touch her again. Touch anyone connected to me, and I'll dismantle your entire organization brick by brick, starting with you. You'd go to war over a woman? Over this woman? Absolutely. Test me and find out. He ended the call. Looked at Keisha. You okay? Shaken. But okay. You really would go to war for me? Without hesitation. You're not just my partner. You're my family, and I protect family at any cost. That night, Junho made a decision that would change everything. He called a meeting of all the major powers in Seoul's underground. The meeting was unprecedented. 15 rival organizations in one room.
You have to leave.
All summoned
Now.
by Junho.
Why? What's happening?
It's
I've
not
called
safe.
you
Go
here for an
before it's too
announcement,
late.
Junho began. I'm making something official that was previously private. He gestured, and Keisha entered, elegantly dressed, confident despite her fear. This is Keisha Carter, the woman I love, the mother of my son, my partner in every sense that matters. The room erupted in whispers. She is under my complete protection. Any action against her is an action against me. Any threat to her will be answered with absolute force. Is that understood? One boss spoke up. You're declaring her untouchable. That's a significant statement. It is, because she is significant, and anyone who doesn't respect that will answer to me personally. And the boy is my son, also untouchable. This is not negotiable. Another voice. You're making them targets by doing this publicly. I'm making them safe by doing this publicly, because now everyone knows, harm them, and you face me. Most of you are smart enough to avoid that. It was a power move, risky, but effective. By the end of the meeting, every organization had agreed to the terms. Keisha Carter and Marcus were officially off limits. Later, in private, Keisha asked, Did you just put a target on your back to protect us? I put clarity out there. Ambiguity is dangerous. Now there's no question about where you stand in my world. At the very top. Exactly. He took her hand. I know you didn't choose this life, but I'm choosing you, and I'll spend every day making sure you never regret choosing me back. I don't regret it. I'm terrified, but I don't regret it. Good, because I'm not letting you go. Over the following months, something shifted. Keisha wasn't just Junho's girlfriend. She became a respected figure in her own right. She started a community program for immigrant women, used Junho's resources to create real change. You're good at this. Min-seok observed, watching her handle a crisis at the center. You'd make a good leader. I am a leader, just not in the same way as Junho. But she was learning that world too, learning the politics, the alliances, the careful balance of power. You should sit in on the next meeting, Junho suggested. Really? You're part of this now. Might as well understand it. The meeting was intense. Discussion of territory, money, problems. When someone disrespected one of the lower-ranking members, Keisha spoke up. That's not acceptable. Everyone here deserves basic respect. The room went silent. Excuse me? The disrespectful boss said. I said respect, or leave. I don't care about your rank. Basic human decency applies to everyone.
We stand united
She
in
looked
this
at
critical
June.
moment.
Ho.
Our path
Isn't that
forward
right?
requires
He
resolve and
smiled.
unity.
Proud.
Together we
My
will
partner
prevail.
is correct. Apologize or leave. The man apologized. After the meeting, multiple people approached Keisha with newfound respect. You're not just his partner, one said. You're your own force. Damn right I am. That night, Junho proposed. Simple. Direct. Marry me. Not because you have to, because I want to spend my life with you, build something real with you, raise Marcus together. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Even knowing my world, my past, the danger, especially knowing all that, because you've proven that love is stronger than fear. They married a month later. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. And for the first time in her life, Keisha felt completely safe. 2 years later, Keisha stood in the community center she'd built, fully funded by Junho's legitimate businesses. Hundreds of immigrant women had found support here. Jobs, language classes, legal help, hope. You've changed lives, Junho said, watching her address a graduating class. We've changed lives, she corrected. You gave me the resources. I just used them well. You've also changed me, made me better, more human. Marcus ran up, now 8 years old and confident. Dad, Mom, there's a ceremony starting. Dad. The words still made Junho's heart squeeze. He'd legally adopted Marcus 6 months after the wedding. The boy carried his name now. As they walked to the ceremony together, a family, Keisha reflected on how far they'd come. From that first collision on a Seoul sidewalk to this moment, from fear to love, from survival to thriving. No regrets? Junho asked quietly. Not one, you? Only that I didn't find you sooner. That evening, in their home, Keisha looked at her life, a husband who adored her, a son who was safe and happy, a purpose that made a difference, power not from dominance, but from partnership. What are you thinking about? Junho asked. That I used to just survive. Now I live, really live. Good, because we're just getting started. And they were. Together they built an empire, not of violence, but of protection, of community, of second chances. Keisha Carter had run from one dangerous man and straight into another, but this time the danger protected her instead of threatening her, and that made all the difference.
Look at that
She
view.
was no longer surviving.
Beautiful.
She was powerful,
Not as beautiful as
protected,
you.
and exactly
Flatterer.
where she belonged, with the most
Look at
feared
that
man
view.
in Seoul,
It's
who
beautiful.
feared only one thing,
Not as beautiful as
losing
you.
her.